Got more women
Yeah.
for a start than you and me right now.
Yeah, literally.
You know, half the people that watch TV and film are women.
100% female.
This documentary features 3 influential female directors and delves into the challenges that women encounter in the film industry through candid interviews and behind-the-scenes insights. Join us as we uncover the obstacles that may have been created by Hollywood.
My name's Freya Williams and I'm a producer-director working in documentary factory TV.
My name is Angharad Parry. I have been a script supervisor for 17 years and now I've got my own company, Ravens Point Films, and I'm a producer.
My name's Emma. Time I worked in kind of video production.
I studied a science degree at university and then knew during my degree that I wanted to do documentary and science documentary.
It was working as an actress with a theatre company called Ridiculousness, and they're very avant-garde theatrical types, and they asked me to hold the camera and film them crossing Times Square in New York. And I suddenly thought, oh, hang on, I don't want to be an actress anymore, I want to be behind the camera.
Loved it, fell in love with the place and wanted to stay. That's probably why I ended up freelancing, really, because at the time I'd sort of taken a few years off work and gone travelling anyway, so I was a little bit finding my feet as to what I wanted to do, but sort of fell back into freelancing because I had that experience to fall back on.
And then so from that I went on and did a little course in London. It was actually free to do because back then you were very supported by the dole. If you didn't have any work, you could get the dole. And then I was like, oh, okay, hang on a minute, I can get supported. And this course was only £50 and you got your £50 back at the end. And it was, I just smashed the shit out of that.
Yeah, what was the course like?
Amazing.
What did you do?
You got to write a short film, a documentary, make a documentary. You worked with there was diverse people. We're talking in London, you know, at the turn of the century. I know it sounds like really ancient.
Originally from London, I'm not from North Wales, so I moved up here about 8 years ago. I'd been off travelling before that, out in kind of wild, kind of more rural places, and I didn't fancy the idea of going back to London again. It was really fun, but I kind of wanted something with a better work-life balance. It can be a bit of a rat race in the city, you know, you work very, very hard.
I grew up in Santago, Anglesey, so I went to university in Kent, and then it was quite easy to move to London, which is just next door. And yeah, London was at that time was a really good place to sort of start in TV because everything was happening there. So. I think definitely at the time. I think it's changed a bit more now, but at the time, kind of London and Bristol, that was the place. That's where all the big companies, especially with like documentaries and things, it was a good place to be.
So freeing.
It is, and it's nice, I think, being somewhere where that work-life balance is better up here. You can do stuff like that, so you can just try out freelancing for a bit. You don't need that crazy amount of money coming in like you do in a big city, that you can experiment a bit more. And it's got, I think as well, it's got quite certainly a closer knit community than you get in a big city, so you meet people quite quickly. And yeah, I guess although the industry's smaller, it's once you know somebody, you know a lot of people, whereas in a that's it.
Someone you know everyone.
A friend of a friend kind of thing. So yeah.
I think having a woman's voice is definitely important.
Historically, the legal right of women to vote has been represented in films in a variety of ways since the invention of narrative films in the late 19th century. Some of the films mock suffragists as unwomanly or man-haters. During the 1910s, women virtually controlled the film industry and had more opportunities during the silent film era than any other time since. In the late 1920s, the movies became big businesses in Hollywood, and small independent film businesses, which were mainly run by women, were part of business.
You know, half the people that watch TV and film are women, so it's a bit odd in a way to have so many men like directing or telling these stories that should be coming from a woman's voice. But I think not only those types of stories, but everything, having any kind of like diversity or gender directing or making films and TV is important because everyone has a voice.
I've got a director's hat.
Yeah.
And I've got a producer's hat. So, but to make money, I can script supervise, and then to hustle other stuff, I wear different hats.
Yeah.
And I think it's really useful, like, don't be told, you can't do that.
No.
Of course you can do absolutely anything you want at any point. You're a human being with rights.
Yeah, literally, with rights.
Yeah.
Definitely a divide that I've seen throughout my career.
With more transferable skills as well, and that means, people who can come in from, say, a communication background and are able to kind of explain technical things to people who aren't technical and things. Not to say that's just only women.
Any advice for any young females or just people in general wanting to start out in the film industry?
Yes, I do. I think you need to network like crazy.
Yeah.
And most filmmakers are just really lovely, normal people.
Yeah.
And I find that humanity generally is caring.
Yeah.
I think back in the days when I was like running, used to get shouted at a lot. It was like kind of like an etiquette that you had to follow. That's really like not okay anymore. So I've kind of come through that.
Yeah.
And I just think like to be kind is great. And more and more filmmakers are just realising, you don't need to, just stand up for yourself.
Yeah, you don't need to be...
And absolutely, you need confidence.
Yeah.
If you don't have anything else and you just have confidence, you'll go far.
Yeah.
When I started in TV as a runner, I definitely felt myself being pushed into more like production-based roles rather than editorial, so like researching and directing. And it was really noticeable that like lots of like young women were being pushed into the production side, production management and stuff like that, and then men were going into more like getting hands on cameras and stuff. So I think that's better, but it still happens. And I think if you want to film, if you want to direct, getting your hands on cameras, making sure you get out on shoots and filming, just to see how it's all done and showing that you're interested is really important. And I think sometimes men are a little bit better at pushing for that, but they're not necessarily better at it. It's just they sometimes get those opportunities and are a bit more confident to like go and do it.